Bobcat gardeners. I hope that you had fun learning about weather and climate during last week's lesson. Have you noticed that the weather has been a little cooler? That is because it is fall, finally. Remember, Oklahoma's climate is warm in the summer and cool in the winter. During the fall, weather is changing and moving from warm to cool, so we have a mix of both. I'm loving it. Even though it is still pretty warm, it is the perfect time to plant cool season crops. Today, we are going to start preparing our beds for fall planting. Let's go. Hi everybody. I am so excited about today's garden work because we are celebrating a new season by getting our beds ready for fall planting. So, one of the first things that I'm going to do to get bed number 6 ready for fall planting is I'm going to use this rake here to pull back our mulch to expose the soil that is going to be ready for planting here shortly after a few more steps. Today, we are going to use compost as a way of fertilizing or giving a good boost to our soil. This compost is known as worm castings, which means worms help to make it. Isn't that neat? I bet we didn't all realize that worms can do so many cool and helpful things for us gardeners. Now, when we plant, we either plant seedlings, which are young plants like this one, or we plant seeds like these. But today, before we get to planting, I'm really excited to talk to you about seeds. Here in my hands are some seeds from our okra plants that came from our crops this last summer. Did you know that all plants have a life cycle? A life cycle is the many stages of life. Seeds are a very important stage in the life cycle of many plants. Most of the veggies here in our garden produce seeds. Each and every seed has the ability to become a brand new plant. I want you to take a close-up look at this seed here. Seeds have a protective shell called a seed coat. Kind of like the shell of an egg, the seed coat protects the baby plant inside the seed from coming out before conditions are just right. I bet some of my gardeners remember from last year the name of this process. I'll give you a second. You guessed it, germination. All right, now everybody, say it with me. Germination. Germination is the process of a seed becoming a plant. The seed has contact with the soil. The soil is warmed by the sun. The soil is wet, either because us gardeners watered it or it had just rained. Once the seed opens up and the baby plant inside begins to grow, down goes the root and up goes the shoot. Say it with me. Down goes the root and up goes the shoot. Once the shoot reaches the surface, it unfurls its leaves, or the leaves begin to open up. Eventually, the plant produces a flower, a fruit, and new seeds. When gardeners plant, we use rulers. We use rulers to measure how deeply we plant a seed. Since it's not always easy to grab a ruler though, most gardeners know how to judge depth by our fingers. I know that my fingertip here is a 1/2 inch long. So if I want to bury a seed a 1/2 inch deep, I can use my fingertip. We also measure how far apart we plant our seeds. Sometimes for that, we use a tape measure like this. Now let's plant some beet seeds. I'm gonna take one seed here and then dig a 1/2 inch hole with my fingertip.
The gardener plants the seeds. The gardener plants the seeds. Hi-ho and cheerio. The gardener plants the seeds. Oh, look at that golden sun. The sun comes out to shine. The sun comes out to shine. Hi-ho and cheerio. The sun comes out to shine. Uh-oh. Maybe I spoke too soon. Better get your umbrella. The rain begins to fall. The rain begins to fall. Hi-ho and cheerio. The rain begins to fall. Well, I think that sun and the rain really help the seeds. The plants begin to grow.
There we have it.
Plants begin
Soon
to
we will
grow.
have beet seedlings.
Hi-ho and cheerio. The plants begin to grow.
Okay, now I'm back here in the pergola. I had a lot of fun planting seeds with you all. We have a lot of great warm season crops that are still growing strong even though it's fall. But we know that those plants will not make it once the weather gets pretty cold. So we have begun to change the environment, or our surroundings, here in the garden to prepare for cold weather. For example, in bed number 1, I've been removing the basil. The plants that we will remove are those that don't like cold weather. Another word for those plants is tender. Let's say it together. Tender. Okay, tender means sensitive. Tender plants do not grow well in cold weather. Some tender, warm season crops are basil, celery, corn, cucumber, beans, cantaloupe, eggplant, lima beans, melons, okra, peppers, pumpkin, sweet potato, sunflowers, summer squash, tomatoes, winter squash, zinnia flowers, and zucchini. Now, let's talk about what plants like to grow in the cool season. We are getting ready for plants like
beets, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, cilantro, collard greens, garlic, kale, lettuce, onions, parsley, peas, potatoes, radish, salad mix. Don't forget the spinach, turnips, and Swiss chard.
So all of those plants prefer the cool weather. Now, a word that I have not yet shared with you that describes cool season crops is hardy. Say it with me. Hardy. Now, when you say a plant is hardy, it means that it can handle cold weather, and they can even live outside when it's freezing. Whoa, I wish I could say that. You know, People are like plants in some ways. Some people are hardy and they like the cold weather. And some people are more tender and they prefer the warm weather. Which one are you? I definitely prefer summer. Okay, I'm gonna take a second to talk about our exciting garden activities for this lesson. Gardeners, your activities for this lesson are to have fun sorting warm and cool season crops and practice measuring. For your garden journal assignment, go outside and take a look around for an example of a seed in nature. Don't be worried. A seed in nature could be an acorn that's fallen from a tree, or even a yellow dandelion that has since turned into a puffball. Did you know that the puffy parts of a dandelion are actually their seeds? In fact, all flowers contain seeds. So see if you can find a flower with a seed inside of it. Don't worry if you cannot find a seed in something outside. Perhaps you can look for seeds inside your kitchen. When you've found a seed, describe what you found and draw a picture. All right, that's all I had for you today. Thanks for learning with me, and I am so excited to continue to share our garden's progress with you. Happy seed searching, and I'll see you next time.
Plant your seeds and watch them grow. The light will always know where to go. You will always keep my heart and soul strong.